I've been playing with some ultraviolet curing resin and some cat's eye, the magnetic powders, and I've had some interesting results. So this is another part of the series I'm doing on ultraviolet curing resin for beginners. I thought I would share this with you. So this is what we're getting so far. Isn't that nice? And I'm getting really weird effects that I rather like on the back. So there's two ways of doing this. Well, this is my fact. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? Now, the two ways I have been experimenting with is where you put the magnet. Do you put it underneath or do you put it on top of the mould? So, first of all, let's show you how I've been doing the putting the magnet underneath piece. Now, I found it's quite nice to mix two colours. That's how I got that bluey greeny one. So what I'm going to do is put my ultraviolet curing resin, and this is the Let Resin 1, in one side, in each side of the pot. So we're going to put two colours in. Get a stirry stick. I've got to decide which two colours this time. Let's have purple. Should we go the purple and the green? I think that might be quite a nice contrast. So the magnetic powders from IntoResin, there's a discount code for these down in the video description. And the resin actually, come to that. Discount codes all over the place in the video description. That's that bit if you click more at the bottom of the video. I've been doing this series of videos for beginners with ultraviolet curing resin for a few weeks now. And the reason I'm doing it is because I keep getting asked questions that are proper new people to resins questions that I'm just thinking, well, there's a lot of videos out there for these things, but I know certainly mine are out of date because I've got so bogged down with fancier techniques at times that I'm kind of enjoying going back to some straightforward stuff, and it's making me think. And I think there's so many new people coming into the hobby nowadays that it's really worth doing. I'm still thinking of making it into an actual course, complete with all the findings and assembling it into being jewellery, all that sort of thing too. Keeping it affordable at the same time, of course. Right, so this is the one that I'm going to put the magnet underneath. So as you can see, we've got a lovely mix of the colours. This is the magnet. They're looking a bit scruffy now, but they are basically the ones that I use with the magnetic stuff for nail art. Now look at that. Cure it quick. This is my Let Resin ultraviolet lamp. It's a big one and it's very powerful. Now, the problem we've got is that, as you can see, so we can talk while this is doing, as you can see, the base for this powder is black. So you end up with quite a dark piece, and that means it's quite hard for the ultraviolet light to get through it to cure. So give it a good long cure time with a very powerful ultraviolet lamp. If you're working with the little torch lamps, then just make sure you keep it on it for a long time, longer than you normally would. So that's had 2 minutes on that side, and I've ended up with a weird ripply surface, but you can see the colour flashing across it. So I'm going to turn it over and try to keep the magnet in roughly the same sort of position, because obviously we want to try and cure it from the back. The light won't have necessarily gone through because the powder is so opaque. Right, let's see if this has worked. Now, first thing to note is I've got a horrible surface on this side. So while it's still in its little mould, I'm going to top coat it because it's easier and that'll make those colours really pop. So put my clear UV resin in the middle. You're going to push it out to the edges. Make sure it's covered properly. I'll put a drop more just to dome it up. And you can see the green and the purple have actually worked quite well together. You've got purple in the centre and green at the sides. So let's cure that and then we'll get it out of the mould. So you can see we've got quite a nice effect in there. And the other side, you get weird things go on the other side. Look at that. That doesn't look real. Right, we're gonna top coat this as well. But this is what I've been finding. I've been getting some really interesting results on the other side of these pieces because you can't really see what's going on through the mould, even though it's a translucent mould. Anyway, let's cure that. Next, I'm going to try putting the resin into the little mould and hovering the magnet above it, because that's what you're supposed to do, really. It's what nail artists do. And look at that. I don't know about you, but I think that's absolutely beautiful. The other side, of course, the side we could see, that's also lovely. Probably worth doming that off as well. So let's. Thought I had while it was in the mould, but obviously not enough. Of course, what you could do is dip them. I know some people will actually dip them in ultraviolet resin, thus being sure of completely covering the whole thing without worrying about spillages, as I've just done there. See, got too overconfident there, didn't I? Anyway, let's cure it quick. So there you go. Now I fouled up with the top coating there. I'd have to take a drill and take out this bit at the top because it ceased to be heart-shaped. But look at the effect of that cat's eye in there. Magnetic. Oops. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So I still think this one's my favourite though. It's one of those things that happens by accident and you can't control. So this time we're going to use the magnet on top, and I've got a different colour to go in here. I don't know what these colours are called. They're all numbered. How beautiful. And isn't it funny? They just look like a magnet, a normal sort of like a, I don't know, chameleon or something. You put them in. And then this happens. So this is what you're supposed to do. Now I have to get my head down here so I can see when it's doing its thing. And I keep the magnet there, then I get my lamp ready, and I'm in. Start the curing while the magnet's still there. Now there probably won't be any effect on the other side as a result of doing it like this. And very often I end up dipping my magnet in the resin. But hey, oh, that's rather nice as well, isn't it? Effect not dissimilar to what we got by putting the magnet underneath, but because we pulled it to the surface this side, I don't think we're going to have much effect that side. But this side, the effect moves further. So while it's in its mould, let's top coat. See if I can dome it properly while it's in there this time. Got a little bubble in there I can see. I think I'm just getting the odd bubble because I'm getting low in that bottle of resin. Right, let's cure that. And the final thing I'm going to show you is I've got these sort of magnets. Can you see that fancy end? Ones like this. These were very cheap. I don't think they're anywhere near as strong, but we'll see what we can do with them. Right, let's get it out and see what's happened. You see the other side, you've just got the shimmer. Now I could have put the magnet on the other side as well, but I think it would have disturbed the first side, although that is very nice anyway, isn't it? So let's give it another top coat. Just really make these colours pop. Making a right mess here, aren't I? Oh, there we go. You get a very similar effect to putting it underneath one I did here. Just the colour goes further and you get a bit less of a... This gives like a laser effect, whereas that gives more of a shimmer across the surface. If that makes sense. So we're having fun here, aren't we? Next one. Now this is where I was going to try and show you that little flower shaped magnet, because I've got some left. Mixed up that same colour again. And this magnet just isn't as strong, and I think it works better with lighter colours. I tried it with the pinky colour, and you can see that the pattern isn't as strong. I think the magnets just aren't quite as strong. However, they are pretty. But I think we're only going to be able to do it from this side. So I'm going to be on standby with my lamp again, ready to go, because we're going to hold this over it. And you do have to get this really close. This takes a bit of doing, getting it close enough, but without touching the resin. That's worked. So these were really cheap. They're just nail art magnets. Are they from Amazon? I honestly can't remember. I've had them for so long. The other ones are just nail art magnets too. And cheap as chips. And they come in all sorts of different patterns and stuff. I've got one that's just like a pointy one as well. The one that we were using earlier has got the flat end, but it's also got that which actually makes lightning. I've found that reasonably effective. I used that on a couple of others earlier too. This was the lightning one. You basically get a... You can't see it on that side, but you basically get a wiggle in it. You see? I haven't top coated that one yet. I'll do that in a second. In fact, I'll do that now and get it under the lamp. I hope this is answering all the questions I was getting about the magnetic cat's eye powders from IntoResin, because it's a long time since I've used them and first did videos on them. So let me know if it leaves any more questions. It's going to take a lot of practice, and but there's so much potential. It's just getting the knack of it, really. So that has fixed in place, look. That's a lot better than last time. I think I got the magnets closer. Actually, I'll leave the top coat until it's out. I think I got the magnets closer this time, and also, oh, I need to do the back, don't I? And also, I think the colour was more lent itself to it, because that pinky colour I think was a little bit dark to get the full effect from it, really. Right. See what we got. So we got the lovely sparkly back again, which you could top coat if you wanted to, but because it's a Beck Makes mould, oh God knows how many times I've used this, hundreds, but it's still shiny. So if you didn't want to, you wouldn't have to. It's this side that it's all about this time, isn't it? So we are going to top coat that. Because I obviously use the UV resin quite thick, it does tend to leave you with a ripply surface. So I think top coating for this is a bit of a must. Let's get that cured and we'll have a closer look. Okay, time for some verdicts then. I hope this has picked up all the questions for you. Don't forget, this is part of a series. There's loads of tutorials. But yes, I'll get all the rest of them that we made so far in this series together so you can have a look. Some of these you won't have seen yet because the videos are yet to come. So if you want to see more, then I'll put you the link to the playlist for all of these in the video description and at the end of this video. And I hope you've liked these. Do, as I said earlier, please let me know if there are more things you want me to show you how to do. I'm looking at beginner stuff using ultraviolet curing resin, predominantly little jewellery pieces like these, because most of these techniques will translate to bigger pieces. I've done whole coasters like this, for example, and even the little trinket trays that we all love so much. So let me bring into shot all the ones from the rest of the series that we've got so far. As I said, some of these will come as a bit of a surprise because even if you've been following the series, you won't have seen them yet. Just want to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribes to my channel, everybody who watches the videos, everybody who has joined through the membership scheme as well. That's wonderful. Thank you for that extra layer of support. But most of all, thank you all so much just for being awesome crafty types. Take care all, and I'll see you for the next video.